Good morning. As always, takes me just a few moments to get myself technically settled. I remember when it went from just using CDs when we taught in studios to then, like, you know, iTunes and iPads and all of that stuff. And it was just like, oh my gosh, I just want a regular CD to put in the CD player. So, all right, I think I got us. Good. All right. Okay. So in addition to your mat, as always, you may want to have something under your mat, especially if you're practicing on a hardwood floor. Sometimes the knees, the low back, the vertebrae can be a little sensitive. And then I have 2 blocks today. You can have 2 pillows. You can have a block and a ball, or a block and a pillow, any combination. But if you want to have 2 light, what would we call these? I don't know. It's Friday. We would call these props. There we go. 2 light props. And if you know you want your neck propped, please go grab a bed pillow or even a couch pillow, anything to put under your head while we're laying back. I want to adjust my lighting. I think, hang on 1 second here. I look a little dark on my monitor. God, I am just struggling for there, I think that looks a little better. I'm struggling for my words today. This is going to be very much do as I say and not as I do. All right. As always, make sure you got plenty of space. All that good stuff. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Really quick run through again. If you want to pad your mat, especially if you're on a wooden floor, even a rug will work. Extra blanket, mat, a second mat would help. If you need that pillow for behind your head, grab it. If you want 2 props today, I have blocks. They can be balls and pillows, anything if you want, and they're completely optional. If you don't have any, no big deal. But let's warm that spine. So we're going to come to any comfortable seated position. You know, you can be, let me take off my other sock. It's easier for you to see what I'm doing. You can be cross-legged. You can be long-legged. I call these zigzag legs. You may come into that kind of a position. But let's start to feel both sits bones on the floor. You know, in Pilates, it's about our posture and building that from the foundation up. So if we're used to sitting a little bit back, and we have a favorite hip we like to sit a little harder on, let's try to find the middle. If you want to rock a little bit side to side, roll around a little bit side to side to find that middle right in the pelvis there. And then we want to softly open the belly and softly open the collarbones. We don't think so much of the throat. Okay, that's to support the head. That's not really involved in Pilates. So think collarbones almost in line with your armpits. That's where we want to lift a little bit from. And then the head and neck is relaxed. What tends to happen is we get a little, I'm going to keep my arm up so you can see, we get a little soft here. So from the belly, rib cage, collarbones, a little bit open. And from now, let's bring the arms down to the side, and we're going to tip side to side. I know I do this a lot, but you know, we don't tip laterally, left and right a lot. We lean forward and we lean back a lot, but we don't tend to tip from side to side. So as you're tipping, think of getting taller and then making space in your rib cage, in your spine. And then as you come to center, get tall again. So imagine I was going to measure you at the end of class, and you want to be just 1/8 of an inch taller. And remember, it's from those open collarbones. It's not from the chin. So you lean over, you open up the ribs here. Feel for that just below that, like that's the right below your collarbones. And you come up and center. And warm this up. If you want to hold on one side, my right low back is all bent tight as a boot. You'll find me hang out on my right side a little more. How are you feeling? What side do you need to hang out on more? Maybe you're fine. But we're going to do this for a bit because gravity never shuts off. It's always trying to kind of compact us. So we have to, like I say, take up space. Take up space. Oh, that feels kind of good this morning. Let's do 1 more in each direction. And again, Pilates, the challenge of Pilates is to make things look like you're floating. Bring your right arm front, your left arm back, or I don't know if you're opposite of me or not. One arm front, one arm behind. Give yourself a twist from your belly. You can pull a little bit with your shoulders, but then we tend to kind of, again, collapse into the belly. So think of a barbershop pole spiraling up. And if you want to add the head, you can. It depends on how stiff that neck feels this morning. Let's give ourselves some twists left and right. Going into the twist is the easy. Can you slow the release? Can you feel the belly and the ribs come nice and controlled? Because that's what Pilates is really controlling those deeper muscles that we tend to not even think about. So a couple more times. This twist is not very big. The belly and the low back can't twist very far. A lot of the rotation comes from your shoulders. But see if you can feel it. The shoulders are going to twist first. Let it come down below that belly button, behind that belly button. And so now let's come over hands and knees. We're going to warm up that spine some more. Check out your hands always. If they're stiff in the wrists or fingers, you can shake them out. You can circle them. You can turn the fingertips out and away from each other and open up those wrists. You can press the back of a hand. Ooh, that's a good one. Into the mat. But just take just a smidgen of time here. Assess your wrists. Assess your forearms, especially with our devices today. These poor little muscles in our forearms and our fingers and the tendons in our wrists really get worked a lot. So we want to be sure to keep them stretched out and open. We know how to close our hands around our devices, but can we open our hands all the way? And then those hands are going to walk back so they're under your shoulders. They're not kind of under your eyes. And then these are comfortable distance apart. And we're going to start those cats and cows. So think of moving again from your rib cage. Heart or belly, collarbones open up, but you don't have to push through the neck. Can you feel that difference? When you round up, you really want to feel the wrapping in under the rib cage. So not the hunch in the shoulders. That's a little too close to the neck. More under the armpits, into the rib cage, below the heart. At your own pace, warm up your spine. And remember, it's not how hard you can push, how smooth can this feel? No rush. Can you feel the transition, the movement through how the heart opens, the belly drops, the shoulder blades squeeze together, the back muscles get tight. And then feel that all reverse. The back muscles all stretch. The shoulder blades slide away from each other. We pull up and into that belly strong. So can you feel the muscles taking turns, switching front to back? One more time. You're going to hold this rounded up spine for me here. Breath. We need that diaphragm to get those abs woken up. Give me a nice big belly breath. Exhale like you're blowing out a candle. Can you fish up your belly button up and into your ribcage? 2 more breaths. Blow out that candle one more time. Nice big belly breath. Exhale. Blow out that air. If you want, you can scoot your knees a little wider. You're going to start to sit your hips back. Can you keep your ribcage lifted from your thighs? So this is not a relaxed stretch. We are really still squeezing in the abs. Can we hunch down and not have the abs relaxed? 3 more breaths here. So we do relax the belly for that inhale. Imagine blowing out that candle. Can you feel those abs get tight again? 2 more times. Last one. Come forward, hands and knees. Step your knees back just a smidgen. Fingers fan out wide. Let's let the hips start to drop. And think of your collarbones. So remember, your collarbones are down here. This is the top of your shoulders. So it's not to point the tops of the shoulders. It's, see that difference? Oh, open in the collarbones. And then all the way back. Now, this can be a child's pose. A breath or two coming all the way forward. So now we're really moving that whole spine. Can you see that back bend? And then we go all the way the other direction. So again, a bunch of these. Warm up. And as you come in, can you feel the space around your heart into your upward dog? When you go into your child's pose, can you feel the space now is going to be more in your low back? Can you feel muscles taking turns? And then could you possibly make yourself feel taller, looser, more at ease, rather than creating tension in the neck or the jaw or in the wrists? Couple more. I want to get that spine nice and warm. If you want to linger in any of these, I think you know that's absolutely legal. One more time, bring it forward. Hold this one. Nice and easy, a little look to one side and then to center and the other. Can you feel that down into the rib cage? Coming down the sides, left and right. So we want to get into all those little nooks and crannies as much as we can. Go ahead and look in the other direction a little. Come to center, take a breath into your child's pose. And we're going to hold this child's pose. Walk those fingertips a little bit forward, press the fingertips down, hold that pressure and allow your shoulder sockets, those joints, those ligaments to slowly stretch like taffy. Don't get in a fight with them. Don't play tug of war. That's not necessary to go that deep. And then we're going to just one more time each side. So hands are going to walk off one side of the mat towards the floor, sitting back. Give yourself a few breaths to open up that rib cage under the armpit. We don't need to create more tension around the mat. And then we'll walk hands through the center, off the other side of the mat. Same thing. Open up underneath the armpit, down through the rib cage, down around the lungs. Try to keep the neck as soft as it can be. Let's come back to center. Let's go ahead and come down into the belly. Stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands. Always check out your back before we start getting into back work too much. We want to make sure it's doing okay. You know, if your back is ever tighter, more tender, sore, achy than you thought, ease in. Take breaks whenever you need to. That child's pose is fantastic to stretch out a sore back. Okay, toenails stay down. Can you firm your belly into the floor for me? Open the front of the hips here. Think of the front pockets and jeans that we want to press them into the mat. And then firm that up through the belly, right into the rib cage. Start with the weight of the head. So arms don't help at all. Lifting the forehead, look a little bit forward. Take 2 breaths here. Can you feel that soft squeeze in the rib cage, almost like a corset? And with control, you're going to tap the forehead to the hands. So no weight, just that connection. Feel the skin touch skin, and now lift again. Hold for a breath or 2. I tend to breathe really slow. You may hold for 2 to my 1. And go ahead and just feel the skin of your forehead. Touch your hands. Feel this corset in your ribs, back, and abs. Stay strong. And a lift again. So it's very gentle. Couple more times. How much work can you keep out of the neck and the jaw and the forehead? Because sometimes we wrinkle up that forehead to try to lift the head too. Can you feel this from the armpits down? Nothing in the shoulders, nothing in the neck, nothing in the hands or the forearms resting on the floor. One more time. So you're going to keep your head up for me. Take your arms all the way up. And then we're going to take the palms. And you see how my thumbs are going to stay in contact with the floor. I see this a lot. So they're going to try to keep those arms long and sliding so they're on the sides. So it's a little stronger in the back, right down there. Arms are going to squeeze in soft gaze, but this is, again, to squeeze from the armpits down. Take a breath. You're going to let your palms flip to the sky. Forehead comes down. Lift in the chin. Forehead. Now roll the hands to the thighs and feel like you're getting long. Out the toes, the feet in the back. Strong belly. Now keep your belly really strong as we allow the arms to come down and the head to come down. And then we lift that long again. Think like you're getting like an arrow, really long, tight in the middle, stretched out like taffy. Now keep your belly on, keep your quads on. And we're just going to slowly release the upper body down. Feel that control. And then we can pick it up again. And no pressure in the neck, no work in the shoulders. And coming down. One more time. Strong belly back. Holding here. Can you keep that little pressure in all 10 fingertips in the palms? Can you feel that zippering down into the armpits? Your belly, really firm that belly. You got that core set going, and you got one more breath in and out. Let's slide the hands up. You're gonna make that little pillow stacking your hands and forehead. Rest on your hands. Relax your body completely. Then turn your toes under. Lift your head and your hands come back under your shoulders. Let's push hands and knees. You cats and cows. So see, eventually, could you feel your abs doing this movement? Even though there's no floor to push into. It's really easy to let the back do all of this. Let's hold this rounded up spine. 3 Pilates breaths for me. So keeping those ribs tucked up, relax the belly to breathe in. Exhale, fire your abs as best as you can. Exhale through the lips. 2 more times. Last one. Taking this into your shell stretch, so widening the knees. Sit back as far as your abs will let you. Make sure your abs are still on. And then 3 more breaths. Using that diaphragm to pull the belly up and in. Last breath. Hands and knees, and you're going to come around to seated. If you decided to grab some props, we're going to use these here. So for starters, let's put one of them between the knees, and then one of them a hand. So even if you have a pillow, you can turn it that thin way and give it a little squeeze. Now, when we give whatever we have in our hands the squeeze, it's not to like pull it up. We want to keep it from the armpit down. So it's to kind of squeeze down and then almost through your pinkies more than on top into your thumbs. So elbows drop, and it's like your arms are going to get slightly longer. Hold that soft squeeze. And again, can you keep it down in the chest below your collarbones, under your armpits, and in the biceps, which is not up high, down low. Okay, give that block a squeeze between the knees. You're going to take a squeeze into your glutes, and we're going to start to roll a little bit back. Pause. Can you feel the strength in your chest again? Under the armpits and knees. Squeeze your seat again. Roll up. You can start to do this. We're just going to roll a little bit back and forwards at your own pace, but can you really control? So we keep talking about how our core squeezes you in and long. So feel the inner thighs with the block. Feel the chest and the armpits. Can you connect those two with the strength through your belly and pelvic floor? Rolling through that belly and pelvic floor. And let yourself really move slow. I know it's harder that way, but the slower you move, the more you feel it. And really give that caboose a good squeeze. And I forgot to cue, feet as flat as you can manage. Last one. That rolling back. Pause. Now think of connecting the strength in your chest to the strength in your inner thighs, through your belly, through your pelvic floor. You're coming up. And we're going to set these to the side for a moment. And your legs are going to come long, scoot back so you can see me, and a little bit wider than hip width here. So they're not really narrow, but not really wide. So you can sit into your sits bones. Let's start with fingertip to fingertip. Pull your toes back towards you so your quads fire. We're going to give ourselves a little turn. Now pause here. Can you feel how your legs are still going forward and you've twisted your upper body here? And then come back to center. And then the other way, we tend to want to lean the entire direction. Our nose is going. Can you keep your sits bones, your hips down? And so feel your core stop the twist, that you don't keep going, going, going. There's that wall you hit with your legs. Let that be strong and bring that back to center. A couple of these each direction. Now in the arms, where do you feel this? Hopefully not in the shoulders. Try not to lift your elbows. Let the elbows drop and let this be lower and center. And there's work into the twist and work coming out. Almost push into the legs, the quads just a smidgen more as we release out of the twist, like the quads pull you back and center. Let's do one more time each side, see if you can find the strength in those legs. to center one more time in this other direction. Hands center, arms come down, hook them behind the knees. You're gonna walk your knees in. Step your feet really wide, hands can go back. And we'll release in the hips. Remember, this is to be very gentle. You don't have to tap your knee to the floor. It's to start to open your hip flexor. So I'd like to play a little more with that twist, with the strength in your quads and in your belly. Remember that shell stretch when we're folded over our thighs, but we're trying to fire our belly in a folded position? That twist, we're gonna change. So you're gonna come back for me, legs long, slightly wider than hip width distance apart, flex those toes, find your quads, get into your sits bones. All right, fingertip to fingertip, we're gonna take a little twist. And now the arms open. And we're gonna roll down. I'm gonna turn a little more to the side so you can see this. Watch my head comes first, and I'm gonna roll down like I'm rolling under what's that called? A shelf, that's what that's called. And I don't wanna bang my head, so I don't come up. I'm gonna tuck. See how this is like shell stretch? Can you fire right here? Can you pull in your rib cage, your abs? Keep your head down and reset. Come to center. We're gonna twist the other way. So the arms open. Use your belly, roll down, fire, fire, fire. It's like a weird shell stretch. Hold on to the legs, keep your head down, roll back up, starting with your low back. You're still twisted. And then it's to hold that twist through the entire thing. So twist in that other direction, tuck your chin, roll down, stay twisted. Belly button is off to the side. Keep your head down, restack into your twist. So your obliques are on. Bring it center with the strength of your legs. And the other side, we twist, open the arms. Now tuck your chin, you roll down, but feel yourself a little kitty wampus. Your obliques are on. Quads strong as you come up. Quads stay strong as we come center. And the other way. That twist open, tuck chin, roll down under that imaginary shelf. Strong abs. Roll out, strong quads. Twist to center, strong legs. Come into your twist. This is where we fire the obliques and then we open the arms. Drop the chin, roll under that imaginary shelf. Strong legs to unroll, head stays down, comes up last. Slow twist to center, pull into the thighs. And again, one more time each side. So twist into fire the obliques and then open the arms. Hold those obliques as you drop your chin, roll down. Be on a twist. Coming back up with strong legs. And again, those strong quads to come to center. Fire the obliques into your twist and then open the arms. Tuck your chin, rolling under. Feel yourself twisted and those obliques are on. Strong legs as you come up. Slow release to center. That twist. And hands come back behind. Let's step the feet in nice and wide. Release in the hip flexors again. So we've started to get those quads firing. Again, in Pilates, our quads are squeezed in to help us stand tall. So it's remember what it felt like to wear control top pantyhose, really squeeze your thighs. We want to try to create that same sensation with how we use our leg muscles. So that being said, go ahead and position yourself on your mat so you can lay all the way back and have your props nearby. So we're gonna lay, start with your heels connected. Okay. Just squeeze the heels together. Now press them down at the same time, together and down. So can you feel how the inner thighs are pulling in and that press down starts to fire a little bit through the belly and the low back? So again, it's kind of, you can feel there's resistance. If you wanted to breathe into it, we can't like relax up. It's pulled down and long. So to hold that for a couple more breaths and feel that in the legs, in the inner thighs, the quads, that low back, abs. You want to feel that nice strength there. One more breath. Now we'd like to find this sensation in other positions than this. So let's bend the knees and step the feet in. Let's warm this low back a bit more. Remember pelvic tilts? You're going to sink through the ribs and see how that starts to roll me under a little bit and then the release. So it starts right here, right under my rib cage. See how I'm sinking down, and then I can scoop out. And it's like tipping a bowl backwards. Now, I'm not just going to do this from my glutes, just down here, from my fandango. I want to start from here and in. And we want to protect our low back, so your low back only touches the mat. Very little pressure. There's no ribs in your low back to protect those vertebrae. So that's starting to warm that up. Now, this is imprint when your low back just touches the floor, when those abs are a little stronger in these ribs. So you're going to do this one more time for me. Roll in and roll out. Release to center. We're going to do a very quick stretch. Legs go long, arms over the head. Now you can pull everything long. You can work side to side. Get some space in there. Let it feel good. Take a long breath in, and as you exhale, bring your arms down to your sides. You're going to bend your knees and bring your feet to the floor. Find an imprint for me. So next breath in. Exhale, sink through the ribs. And start to feel that pressure in the rib cage. When we lift the legs, we don't want it to go into the low back. It goes into the rib cage. So we lift left leg, right leg, and I'm going to hide my toes behind my knees. I can't see my toes right now. If I lift them high, I can't. Now I can't. So hide your toes. Now, if the legs want to pull you up and flare that belly, sink higher. Pull that down. Toes, heels, knees together. Strong knees. And we lengthen out a little bit, and we pull in. Now, I know you're going to feel this a little bit in your abs, but what about the legs? Can we really start to feel it in the legs? Can we create that strength wrapping into the thighs? Let's do 2 more here. And last one, we're going to slowly keep adding things. You can add as much or as little as you want. You're going to bend your knees, hold here, grab one of your props. Freaking in between the hands. So the fingertips are just going to point towards the sky. And again, it's not over your head. It's more over your sternum. Squeeze in there. Can you find your chest? Under your armpits. Hold that light squeeze. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 2, maybe a 3. Now hold right here. Lengthen out. So we got chest strong, legs strong. Slowly pull in. Sink through those ribs. Try to keep that weight in the ribs and then challenge it. Can the legs push away? And that corset around the ribs stays strong. We're going to try for 2 more. No pressure in the neck or the jaw. 1 more time. Pull this in. Hold the feet. Let's set the blocks down, and then feet come down. Long breath. Let's sit the feet, knees close together. Scoot your arms slightly wide, and you can twist your spine. Again, like I said, I'm going to add on. If this is enough, feel free to stay here. That's the beauty of Pilates. You don't have to do everything to get benefits. 1 more time. Twisting in each direction. All right, come into center. We're going to have both of our props. So you're going to have one between the knees and one in the hands. So again, you're going to extend the arms towards the sky, fingertips softly reaching up. And this can be as narrow as you want or as wide as you want. Find the strength in your chest. After you've found that, give me an imprint, sink to the ribs. And after that, we lift in the legs. So we hold, and then we can squeeze in that block as we lengthen out and pull in. And hopefully, this gives us a little different sensation than before. A little more in the inner thighs. So notice how the inner thighs can almost push your legs away, then pull them in. So think of your inner thighs pushing the block away, and then pause. Now, slowly pull back. But which muscles do you use to pull back? Pause. And then push away. Can you, again, feel these 2 sets of muscles taking turns? But that chest gently, but stays on. Consistently stays on. 1 more. We're going to pull in, set the feet down, the block to the side. Again, now, if you want, step your feet wider, and if we sway, I'm gonna stretch in the quads and the hamstrings, or not, those are not hamstrings, those are hip flexors, a bit more. Or if you really like the twist into the low back, keep your feet and knees together. If you wanna do a few of each, you can do a few of each. And one more time in each direction. All right, so a prop of your choice. We did between the knees, between the ankles. Okay. Give me an imprint, lifting the legs. You can hold there, hide those toes down behind your knees. And if you want, prop between the hands. So squeeze into the chest. Scale of 1 to 10, give me about a 2 or a 3. Sink into that imprint. And now push the block away. And slowly pull in. And push the block away. 3 parts. You push away, pause. Drag in, pause. Push away, pause. Drag in, pause. So again, which muscles do you feel to lengthen out? And which legs or which muscles do you feel to pull in? Last one. And in. Nice. You can take these props, set them to the side, stretch of your choice. And you can go long arms and legs to the ground. You can twist, whatever feels good. Now we worked on finding the strength in the legs, but that's when they were both doing the same thing. We're gonna now let them do their own thing. Let's keep the left leg long, right knee bends in. Give me a little imprint. We want to tighten in the edge just a smidgen here. And your left heel, you press it down. Again, a scale of 1 to 10, maybe about a 5. So you can feel this leg come alive. So it just doesn't hang out at the sides. The kneecap rotates up towards the ceiling. So does the toes. You're going to hold that long and strong. And this right knee is going to bend into some degree. It's all a little different here. And so it feels fairly comfortable that you're not dumping into your low back and swooshing it into place. See how that pops my shoulders up as well? We want to keep those ribs slightly down, collarbones open. And now lengthening the leg out. And then pull in a little bit. Play around with this. Feel that left leg press down as the right leg lifts a little bit. So they're opening like a scissors. And then you can take the edge off. You can turn your palms down and use your fingertips and elbows to help hold that chest open. And in. So this is another one where you feel like you're taking up space. You're getting bigger, wider through the collarbones and the chest, longer in the legs. Now, if you can hold your leg a little long, try it. Feel the strength way out down into that left heel. And we got that quad on. Now, very easy, we're going to start to circle. Now, what people will tend to do is move their whole hips. The idea is this stays and just the leg swivels. So feel how the weight of the leg challenges the left. Feel how the weight of that right leg wants to push the low back down or pull the ribs up or move the shoulders around. You're holding all of this like we've laid in flat paper, and now challenge it. And feel in each direction how the weight of the leg makes different muscles move. So imagine a very small clock on the ceiling there. And you're going to take your toes to 12 and hang out there a little bit. And then slide them out to 3 and hang out there for a breath. And then down to 6 and hang out there for a breath. Over to 9 and up to 12. So try to go a little slower in this circle and see how the muscles need to shift when the weight of the leg moves. And thinking of spiraling this right leg very gently in the hip socket. This one really isn't the working leg. We can feel it. The work is everywhere else. Open chest, long spine, heavy left leg, all of that good stuff. Now, can you slowly work your way? Right foot up to 12. We got to go counterclockwise. So over to 9. Take your time and let those deep muscles inside your work, not the superficial ones, the deep ones in there. Like, wow, I feel this around my shoulder blades or in around my rib cage or deep in my left thigh. Yes, yes, that is what we want. Couple more times. Do your best to not rush. Do your best to feel like you've stuck yourself in fly paper. One more time. Then drag that left leg in, step the feet wide, and let's take the knees going to the left. So we open up that right side. And you can switch as you desire. So even though that right leg was moving, the real working one was the left. We're going to try another one like that, where it's not necessarily the moving leg that's going to do a lot of the work. It's challenging the leg that's going to stay still. So bring your feet side by side, hip width apart, so they're not really wide. Step them in just a smidgen, turn those palms down. Bridges, remember, so you're going to tuck under, you're going to roll up, push your knees away from you. And then when you start to roll your back down, feel your knee pits get deeper. And you feel the more work in the legs as you roll that spine down. Let's warm the body up. So again, tucking under, rolling through. Push your shins away, the weight into the toes, the full flat, the full sole of the feet. And as you roll down, try to keep weight moving. So rather than dropping in, see I'm sliding the weight up to my armpits, I'm going to pull the weight to my feet. You see that soft little shift. And that keeps the tension out of my neck and shoulders. So it's like you're holding like $100 bills down under your feet. And when you roll up and down, you don't want to let any weight shift out of there. One more time. And roll this down. We're going to hold a bridge. I really don't care how high you go, but wherever you hold, stay. Do your best to not drop in the hips. Now find the sole of your left foot. Feel the heel, the toes, the ball of the foot, all of that nice and strong. Pull that into the knee pit, up the hamstring, and right into the glute and low back on that left side. Palms turn to the floor. Chest stays open. Weight stays towards the feet. We're going to pick up this right leg, but try not to pull it up to the shoulders. You're going to push that weight into that left foot. And then you're going to bring it down. We're staying on the same side. I know we usually alternate, but we're not going to do that today. So strong here in that knee pit, in that foot. Arms open or down and chest open. And then as you set it down, weight goes into that foot. Now these hamstrings can get jumpy and they might cramp a little bit. Come down and stretch out whenever you need to. Up, down, maybe one more, maybe. This can be a real doozy. Especially when you got a boot on, this leg weighs a ton. Come to center. Now pull yourself into your feet. We're gonna roll down, but don't poop out yet. Keep those nice strong muscles on. We're gonna roll down, tighten up into the knee pits. And down. Step the feet wide. Let's sway side to side, releasing in the hips here. And then if you want, you can stretch the hamstrings, particularly this left one. We're going again on this left side. So give those hamstrings a little love if that's what they're needing. Remember, add as much or as little as you want. I'm always going to walk you through the first one and then the second stage and then the third, so you can add as much or as little. Let's turn the palms down. You've got your open collarbones. So you take a breath in, sink through your ribs to roll up into your bridge. Feel your left foot. Pull your weight towards your feet. Strong side. That whole left side stays right here. And we add the weight of that right leg. And now we're going to Lengthen out and in. Now we tend to think this is a right leg exercise. No, it's not. It's still a left leg exercise. So lengthen out and hold. Feel where that left leg needs to work. Now slowly bend. Hold. Where does that left leg need to work out? And out. Now you can stay here and work with the bent knee to lengthen, or you can hold long and then drop just a few inches. And then lift just a few inches. And then drop just a few inches. Can you keep this up? Using your hamstring, your knee pit here. Arms pressing down, dropping just a few inches. And up. And down. And up. One more time. Down. And up. Bend the right knee. Foot finds the floor. Strong bridge. Pull into both feet. Bend the knees. Rolling down. Step the feet wide. Let's release the hip flexors. If you're needing that hamstring stretch, you can go into that too. I'll be going into that in just a few minutes once I get my hip flexors a little more happy. And open. Up. I'd like to do just a couple more on this side. Okay, well, we're going to move from the back. You're going to come to hands and knees. Okay. Hands and knees, and then down to your forearms. Really sit the weight into your forearm bones. So try not to stay back into the knees or into your elbows. Come way up to your wrists. Come into those forearms. You can clasp the hands. You can turn palms to the floor, whatever you'd like. But get the weight through these strong, through really solid bones. Use this here. Knees come together. Rather than dropping in here, we're going to keep the gaze at the thumbs. And see how that keeps our spine long. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together slightly. We're going to take this right leg and we're going to lift. Now you're going to hold the right leg here. Shift the weight a little bit back into the knees. You see that? Rather than rolling up here, we're going to use the bones in the forearms and the bone in that left kneecap. And then right leg comes in and right leg lengthens back. We've seen this a lot. Now, really try to squeeze your caboose. As you lengthen out, can you squeeze your caboose? As you come back in. Squeeze as you lengthen out. Squeeze that seat. Give it a, hold it as best as you can. And out. Gaze stays about at the thumbs, so the spine stays long. Squeeze the seat. Squeeze the seat. And on both sides, sometimes one wants to squeeze more than the other. Have you ever heard we've got one hip that wants to do all the work and the other one will let it? Try to get both of them working. Come down. Now, left forearm stays on the floor. Right hand comes up. Now the hand is a little bit back. It's not way up here. A little bit back, about in line with your elbow. And I'm going to turn up. I've got my knee, my right knee out, and my heel is in. And we're going to start to draw circles. Now, rather than leaning up and in here, push into that left kneecap. Now squeeze your seat, both of them. Got that? And then you circle. So the idea is the weight stays back and the glutes stay on. So it's not how big can you circle, it's how tight can you keep fandango. So the shoulders are relaxed. My leg, my shin, my kneecap is taking most of that weight. And both cheeks are nice and strong. So again, I'm not looking for a huge circle. I'm looking for you to be able to keep your glutes on. And then pause. Guess what? Circles in the other direction. So remember, try not to be sinking down. If you're really looking at that thigh, lift up the gaze. Push into the hands and form a little bit back into that left knee. And squeeze the seat as the knee lifts. Squeeze the seat as the knee drops. Squeeze the seat as the knee lifts and drops. And as it lifts, and you know, you'd think this was a right leg exercise, but isn't your left leg kind of mad at me right now? One more circle. Take your time. Stay strong. Stay in control. And down. Let's just take a child's pose here. Just let everything soften. Hands and knees and coming down onto your back. I'm probably going to remember that sequence for the other side, but I'm probably also going to make a mistake or two. Come down onto your back. Long. Now, just like you've got a more coordinated hand, you've got a more coordinated leg. So start with the heels together. Palms are down, chest is open, collarbones open. Squeeze the heels together. Now press down. Hold here, again, starting from square one. So feel how the ribs start to tighten, the belly starts to tighten, the low back, all of that. The inner thighs. And then that right leg. We're going to push that right heel down, that one side. So your brain has to flip to the other side and find that. And we're going to bend the left knee and lengthen up. So let's just start with this lengthen and bend. How does this side feel? You might feel yourself want to shift more. It might be harder to keep this leg really, the pelvis level. You may feel like, or maybe this side's easier. But to the best of your ability, like I said, the challenge is to take up space and stay long. And long. And long. Keep the leg long. We're going to drop a little bit and lift a little bit, starting to loosen in there. Strong right leg. Nice and long. Chest open. Fingertips, elbows down. You ready for the circles? Start at 12. 3. 6. 9. I know I go really slow. If you're going a little faster, that's okay, but can you linger at each quarter hour and feel how that makes other muscles react? Let that strength get very deep inside you and feel the muscles that hold you open and down on the floor. So the left leg is working, but really a lot of that right leg, a lot of the hip, the abs, the back, that's what we're using. Let's finish this circle. Try not to speed up. I know when we hear that, oh, last one, it goes faster. Pause at noon, counterclockwise. Feel that right leg. When the left leg drops out to 9, try not to let the right toes drop away. Can you keep the right toes and kneecap up as the weight of the left leg moves around? To the best of your ability. That back is open and the collarbones, so we're not squeezing in and out. We're like reaching out and a little bit long. Doing our best to stay in control, long. Try not to look like we're rushing. Bend that left knee and the right. Let's step the feet wide and sway this out. And we'll do a few bridges to warm up again. Stepping the feet, and remember not, a good way to start is just to make your feet touch and then step them just a little bit wide. Then arms come down. Feel the feet. Push into those kneecaps as we roll up and away. Pull the weight to the feet. As you roll down, can you keep the weight in your feet? So you can roll that tailbone all the way down to the floor, but try not to let like the feet relax. You see how my knees drop wide? Try to keep the feet on. And how gently can you roll through your spine? You don't have to push it down at all. It's to feel these muscles be so strong, we're setting our spine down with ease. And then we're picking it up and lengthening it out like a beaded necklace that was on a piece of elastic. We can pull long and make space in those beads, but the beads are our vertebrae. See, as you set down, you want to imagine making space in your spine. Let's hold this next bridge. Roll it up. Feel your right foot, your right heel, your right toes, that knee pit. And let's just pick up the left. And slowly set it down. And just this here, remember, we don't want to try to sink down. You stay right in that foot and toes. And as we lift, use your arms. You can use your elbows. You can use all 10 fingertips. Push into that foot. And up. About 2 or 3 more, because I just like to think I can count to 3. There's no guarantee. And up, set this down, press into the feet, roll down. Stretch of your choice. If that hamstring needs some attention, I can tell you from my broken foot, I can feel it on this side. This might be a little bit of more of do as what I say. I might need to give this foot a little bit of a break. Ha, 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 ha. So I have an 11-year-old. I couldn't resist. Bring the feet to the floor. Hip width distance apart, so not too wide. Most of us step our feet really wide. Your hips are not as wide as the mat. So a bit closer together. Palms turned down. Open collarbones. And then sink through the ribs. Push into the feet. So take a few seconds here and make sure you're planted, particularly in that right foot, right heel, right knee pit, right glute and low back. I'm going to lift that left leg. Let's take it up. And bend. So again, this is not necessarily a left leg exercise. It's the right leg and foot exercise. So notice how the muscles need to move and change and hold as this left leg goes up and down. Now you can stay bending and lengthening the leg, or you can lengthen and drop just a few inches, less than you want to, and pause. And then pick it back up. Pause. And lower. This poor right hamstring. And up. And lift. And can you pause and then change those directions? Woo! One more time. Down. Lift up. Press into that right foot. Now bend the left knee. That right foot is not quite done yet. Both feet, they share the load, but the right leg's still on. Rolling down. Feel your knee pits get tighter. Keeping the weight into the feet. Stretch of your choice. I think I did it. Then we'll finish up on hands and knees again. We'll do that other hip. Give me just a second here. All right. Hands and knees. And then down to forearms. So getting into the weight in your forearms, stepping your knees all the way together. Nose is over the thumbs. Remember to use those strong forearm bones. Now just take that right leg. Wait a minute. No, I have to do the left one. I panicked. Right leg stays down, left leg lifts. Okay, now shift slightly back. So you kind of feel it back in here rather than up over the top of the shoulder. So you're shifting back and use that right kneecap. And we're just going to lengthen the left leg and you pull in. Now, it's not the movement that's terribly hard. It's keeping the glutes on and the spine long because your body wants to kind of curl in and pull up into these shoulders. So we're going to open that up. Use the forearm bones. Seat on. Seat doesn't get a rest. It squeezes. It's on and it squeezes. So that's what we're practicing. Can I have a strong core if I'm on forearms and knees? And then once we discover, yes, I can, we're going to change it up one more time. Lengthen out. And in. Bring the left knee down. Your right forearm stays. Left hand comes up about in line with your right elbow. Shift Up and lift that left knee. Now make sure again you're a little bit back and open, but not like sinking into the shoulders. Okay, so give yourself a little bit of time to find that. Then that left knee really bends. And we start to draw circles. Is it really a circle exercise? No, remember it's the glute exercise. So squeezing in the seat, keeping a lot of the weight back in that right knee and out of the top of the shoulders. So that glute squeezes as we circle down and up. So that's what you want to watch, is for that sensation of your tight fandango. No matter which way the kneecap points, your hip stays strong. So let's come up to the top here, pause. And can we have strong hips when we go in the other direction? There's only one way to find out. So don't feel the need to go fast. Explore it. See where you're strong. See where you're not. And the spots where you're not, it's not like you made a mistake. It's not like your body's bad. It's like we assume this position often, don't we, and get strong here. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. And down. Child's pose. And another breath. Let's come hands and knees. Turn your toes into, let's take a downward dog to stretch out in the hamstrings. So from here, you can pedal the heels one at a time. Use those fingertips. The full length of your hands right down to the pads of the fingers. And then coming down hands and knees. Take a breath in and out, come back to seated. Any comfortable seated position. Remember those little side bends we did at the beginning of class? Hopefully these feel looser, like there's more space and strength to reach in to them. And as you come up, it's a little taller. And one more time, this direction. Breathing here. One more time, hands go back, feet step wide, just to release in those hips. Nice work. All right, thank you for coming to class today. Keep an eye on the website. We'll keep the classes posted on what's being held. Oh, also, if you are in the Silver Sneakers program or one of those, could you let the rec center know? I think there's an email address. They're trying to find out how to better cater to people who are on. So we're trying to get a count. We're trying to find the demographics a little better of who is attending. And of course, I had memorized this before class. But I think if you find us on Facebook, there's a way to email the rec center and let them know if you're tuning in online to these classes. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you next, I believe next week. We'll see you later. Thank you, guys. Oh, my laugh. I have my mother's laugh. I will tell her that. We'll see you all later.